Because you know why? He's a Frankenstein's monster. Ugh, he's grotesque.
He's so grotesque.
This is part of the lore now, is that we have Frankenstein monsters fighting in the U.S. Army.
Boy, this is always a challenge.
It's always hunting season.
And when it's always hunting season.
Poor dear. We better put her upstairs in bed before Grandpa has her floating all over the neighborhood.
Can I help you, Lily?
Oh, no, thank you, dear. Oh, yes. Maybe. Marilyn was going to the bank for me. Do you think I could trust you to make a withdrawal?
Trust me? How could a level-headed, conscientious fellow like me get in trouble at the bank?
Hello and welcome to another groundbreaking, amazing episode of the Munster Hunters, the only show that dares to look at any content that isn't the Munsters in the eyes and say, GTFO, buddy. We're here for one thing and one thing only. It's to watch a 60-ish-year-old sitcom about a Frankenstein monster and its grotesque family. That's the Munsters. And I am Derek. I'm a Munster Hunter. And joining me at the Frankenstein-headed table of Munsterism, as he does every week, it's Shun DMC himself, Keith.
Hey, what's up? I'm Shun DMC. I am a Munster Hunter. I forgot about that one.
DMC. Whose house? Shun's house. Say what? Yep. All right.
I'd forgotten about that one.
Yo. Not me. I edit the episodes and I hear them over and over again. Oh, and it haunts me in my dreams. Speaking of haunting me in my dreams, across the Munster-headed table of shunning and Munsterism is the Dr. Ray of Kansas, Terry.
Ooh, I'm haunting you. Are you dreaming or are you awake? Ooh,
Classic haunting.
Question.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm always floating above you, being like, come to the recording, Derek.
Oh, okay.
I'm here. But I'm really not. And that's my ultimate prank.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The ultimate prank. Turns out he's dead. Terry's really dead.
I've been dead all along. Yeah,
Yep.
Don't spoil it. That was going to be the grand Munster Hunter season finale.
And here's the thing. If you listen to all the episodes, there was clues in every one. Usually a red balloon would fly by or something would be
Gets a little cold in here every now and then.
Yeah. You'll see our breath on the episode as it... Yeah. So if you re-download all those and just listen, you'll notice.
Every time Terry talks, frost appears on your stereo.
Yeah, I've always wondered how he could still manage to drive the SCUMA with all the frost on the window of it, but I don't know.
Well, ghost powers.
That's my ghost eyes.
If you're responsible for it.
Ghost powers.
Yeah, ghosts can see through anything, just so you know.
That sounds like a threat.
No?
Certain ones like to eavesdrop, so that would be that means they can see through anything.
Oh, that's true. Well, disturbing. But not nearly as disturbing as season 1, episode 21. Don't bank on Herman. But before we can get into the disturbing nature of this episode, we need to do something real fast. And now, the last time I went high speed and it worked really well. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to light a candle, go down the hall, watch out for the spider webs, the low-hanging fruit, the Twizzlers. They're on the way. Don't step on the rat turds because it will stick to your shoes and stink. Open up the gate. Oh my gosh, there are ghosts that aren't Terry floating around in here. Get out the vacuum cleaner, suck them up Luigi style, and put them in the containment unit. Dust off the shelves, grab... push the books and whatever else that's off the shelf. Indiana Jones, I think. The band or his findings or leavings. I don't know. There was rat crap in the hallway. Who knows what Indiana Jones has done in here? Grab the book that is the tome of Munster Hunters Almanac. Dust it off, open it up, blow the dust off again. Down to one knee, lift it up to Keith, who reads it altar boy to priest style for the Munster Hunters Almanac factoid fact tidbit sheet psalm of the week.
All right. Hello. Let's open up here to Mockingbird 432.
432. My favorite chapter and verse.
Can I just say I'm sitting in the pews and now I'm like I'm side-eyeing where all the ghosts just were and that they just went into that vacuum.
Oh, there's pews down here too. All right.
Well, it's like a little altar library, church.
I've been imagining this is that like the bookshelf is just at the end of a long hallway. There's
it
nothing
is
else there.
technically, but so is this giant room that we're in. This cathedral, if you will.
So over the last few episodes, I've been dipping into like some things that what have some of the Munster actors done outside of the Munsters. Fred Gwynn's books, the Italian restaurant that Grandpa owned.
Now,
hold on. Cool song.
Hold on. You just said that like the last couple of episodes. So you mean the previous 20?
No, not the previous 20. I mean, we talk about a whole bunch of different, but specifically,
the Fred Gwynn book stuff was a long time ago.
It was like 3 episodes ago.
Oh, I beg to differ.
I'll be honest, I can't remember now.
Yes,
it was at some point. Yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, I've been looking into things, and one of the things. So I was looking under Yvonne DiCarlo, trying to find some specific stuff about her, like maybe some like odd side things that she did. But instead, I stumbled upon something else. So she, when she eventually did pass away, she passed away at the Motion Picture and Television Hospital. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this or not.
No, I am not.
No. It's also known as the Motion Picture and Television Fund, MPTF. It's a charitable organization offering assistance and care to those motion picture and television industries, their families with limited or no resources, including services such as temporary financial assistance, case management, and residential living.
Okay.
And that's kind of what really kind of caught my attention, was that basically it's a retirement home for Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently during the 30s, there's some timely deaths of guys like Fatty Arbuckle, Carl Dane, Florence Lawrence. That's a great name, etc. And Gene Herschelt, then president of the Motion Picture Relief Fund, he bought 48 acres in the San Fernando Valley, and they purchased it and they set up the Motion Picture Country House. Eventually, they put the hospital there on the area where the country house was at, and it's basically been there ever since. Scores of movie notables have spent their last years here. Those with money paid their own way, but if they didn't, they paid nothing. Fees are solely on the ability to pay.
Really?
Yeah. So I would imagine, especially back in the day, like when people weren't like making the Rock type money.
Yeah.
They even if they had a really great career,
only one person that makes the Rock type money.
Yeah, okay, if they weren't making Kevin Hart type money,
well, you make it sound like Kevin Hart's a D-lister. That guy makes a ton of cash too.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of like the actors making a lot more money these days. Back in the day, you could be a very well-known actor and probably still not have a ton of wealth come at the end of your life, and then having to go there. Also, it was helping their families as well. In 1993, the Motion Picture and Television Fund Foundation was established by Jeffrey Katzenberg. So currently, the board of directors, Bob Beitker, Beitcher, he's the president and CEO, but George Clooney is also one of the board of directors.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, at this current point in time. Then they also have a board of governors that includes J.J. Abrams, Greg Berlanti, Christopher Nolan. I was scrolling through the notable residents, especially those who had died while being there, had their last day. So Yvonne DiCarlo was there. Your boy Joe Conley was there.
What?
Now, if you run on the list and like Bob Mosher.
No, I looked. And his name, he was not there.
No Strain?
Bellamy. That's, yeah. No. Fuzzy Knight. I don't know who that is, but Fuzzy Knight was there.
Okay.
You think we all know who Fuzzy Knight is? I don't.
Is it spelled with a K or in like just like the time of day?
No, spelled with a K.
It's like it's the prequel to Shovel Knight. It's Fuzzy Knight.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and that's the sequel to Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that is I just found it interesting that I didn't realize that there was a thing specifically for that.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that. That's kind of cool though.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I need to get in the show business so I can go retire. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate dream, is to get into show business. That's why so many people move to California, leave their screenplays, on tables and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So
They just want to retire. Yeah.
Retire at the retirement home. Yep. Have a credit. Let me retire. Let me die in dignity.
Yep. That's how my work process goes whenever I make something. Just let me die.
Just let me die in dignity, please.
Yes.
They're gonna be like, well, you were a Munster Hunter, so that's not
Oh, yeah.
possible.
Yeah. You
Zsa Zsa
abandoned
Gabor
all
is on
dignity
the
the
list.
moment you became a Munster Hunter.
Who's on the list?
Zsa Zsa Gabor, Hoot Gibson.
Okay.
I don't know who Hoot Gibson is, but Zsa Zsa Gabor, she's a famous actress.
You listed off like 30 people we don't know, and then you're like, "Show Zsa Zsa Gabor." So it's like you're reading it for the first time.
I kind of was, yeah. That one I was, yeah. But yeah, that's it. I just I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
never heard of it, but I'm glad that's something out there for those people, you know?
Yeah, and for those people that probably do bar trivia, this will help them out eventually.
Oh, yeah.
So 100%, our show is all about that.
Yeah,
Well, once we run out of Munsters, I mean, we got to do something.
bar trivia.
Yeah.
Munster themed bar trivia.
Yep.
There you go.
Did you close it?
Yep, put that back.
Oh man, I already put the book back a while ago, Keith. You were
What the
reading
hell did I
from
just
nothing.
close? Wait a minute.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
It's just
Hold on, there's no book in my hand anymore.
a smoky
What?
outline of the book. I yanked it out of your hand so fast.
Wait a minute, where'd Derek go? God damn, he's
Oh,
already back
weird.
up top.
No, there's too many stairs. It takes me way too long to get up there. That's why we're taking the dumb waiter again. Hop on in, boys. All the way up to the top. Phew, climb out of that dumb waiter. Please ignore the Keith. You have a dish stuck to your back. Get that off there. Okay, door in the kitchen. Out the back door, down the walk, through the gate, out to the dock. Everybody on the ship. I'm going to lift anchor here in a second because
Excellent.
Captain Terry is taking us 3 miles out into international
right.
waters above.
Not
the-
by gunpoint this time.
Not by gunpoint. We're all willing participants trying to earn our spot into the celebrity retirement home. Just let us die with dignity. That's the new, it is the new catchphrase of Munster
Is
Hunters.
that our sign?
All right. Hey, we've got a third sign off to mess up now. That's great.
Yep. Just let us die with dignity. So here we are above the gates of hell, into the SCUMA, down deep, deeper than Atlantis, down to where the seafloor is traveled by the mantis. And Captain Terry is here for another edition of SCUMA.
That's right. We're going down. I never thought about this, but we go to the altar to worship for a bit, to raise our spirits before we go deep into the bowels of hell. It all makes kind of sense now.
Yeah, the only way it can happen.
Yeah,
I'm not going there without first going to the altar of the almanac.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's like we're virginized every time we come out of there. It's just
Yeah.
I wasn't going to go that far, but I just,
that's how I take it.
The almanac does that. Yeah,
I feel
does.
better about
Listeners,
it.
every
I
week.
feel better about the return, about making it back out every time after we do that. So.
Yeah.
Well, so this episode was directed by Ezra Stone. We've talked about him once before. He did The Midnight Ride of Herman Munster, which was about Herman getting mixed up with criminals in a bank robbery.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, this
neat.
guy's got a theme.
Yeah. Okay.
He's directed 27 episodes of the Munsters, so we'll be seeing him quite a bit.
25 more
How-
times. 25
how many-
more bank robbery
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah. I hope so. There's a lot of stuff to dig into with these bank robbing heists. So, his final directing credit caught my eye this time, and I was kind of looking through his stuff. He directed a Lassie TV movie called Lassie: Peace is Our Profession.
What's
this
it
movie?
called?
What?
Lassie pieces of our what?
Lassie: Peace is Our Profession.
Oh, okay.
So I guess this movie really it's just like a few episodes like put together from the show. It was like a 4-arc series or something. So I don't know if the TV movie actually includes all 4 parts, but there's a lot going on with these 4 episodes. I'm just going to kind of briefly run through them. So Lassie and her owner, they go to an Air Force base for a wedding. Lassie ends up befriending a goose who has laid eggs at the missile launch zone. Lassie saves them, but then becomes friends with a diabetic poodle who stows away on a ship. The poodle then goes into a diabetic coma. They stop the ship and save the poodle. But then Lassie and her owner meet a boy named Jimmy, who is crippled and does not believe in God anymore. However, when the boy's father's aircraft is hit with a power failure, he must re-examine his faith. So yeah, there's a lot going on with this.
Heck yeah, there is.
arc.
Way too much.
That seems like the greatest Lassie movie ever made.
Yes.
The greatest Lassie ever told.
That's right. It kind of surprised me. I thought there'd be like kind of like a theme, like kind of throughout connecting them, but it really did sound to me like 4 different episodes about 4 different things. But it must have been.
Maybe that is. Maybe there's like some weird common thread that, like as soon as they finish up, helping somebody find their faith again, somebody falls down a well right at the end of that.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
The goose finished laying its egg, and the baby first words are, "Lassie, go to the airport." And then so she runs.
Yeah. What's that, Lassie? There's a problem at the airport? Yep.
The twist is that it's Lassie is quantum leaping into all of these different.
Oh.
Yeah.
Into different dogs or into different people?
I hope it's people.
It's into the goose, and then into the diabetic poodle, and then into the boy, who needs to find God. And
why is Jimmy barking and running around on all fours? That's weird.
Yeah. Jimmy, stop sniffing my crotch. Jimmy, stand up. Enough, boy. You're 14. Stop it.
So, Lassie, I was surprised because there's 19 seasons of this show.
Of Lassie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's so much. Like, how much can you dig around with this character? I had no idea. But, yeah.
Well, you say character with like the loosest air quotes, because it is a dog.
Look, we're going to be talking about like our second bank robbery related episode here. They had plenty of things for Lassie to rescue people from, I'm sure.
That's true. Yeah.
Quicksand.
I'm sure that happens at least once. Yeah.
Quicksand at a bank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Quicksand at a what are those? Credit union.
Oh yeah.
Quicksand
at a
check cashing place.
Yeah, check cashing. That's what I was thinking of. There might be quicksand at the guy down the street who says he'll pay you back double after you pay him.
The loan shark, yeah. Wimpy's house. So he'll gladly pay us Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Exactly.
But he's caught in quicksand. Quick, Lassie.
Oh yeah, she's at the guy who you teach a man to fish and he'll fish for the rest of his life. There's some quicksand there. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so this episode was written by Douglas Tibbles.
Oh,
so he's a first on the Munsters as well. So that's fun. He's got 15 writing credits on IMDb, so not a lot. Going from 1965 to 1986, he has 10 more episodes of the Munsters to go still. So we'll be seeing him later. His biggest claim to fame seems to have been the Munsters. I was kind of just scrolling through to see stuff I recognized. He did like a couple episodes of Bewitched and the Andy Griffith Show, but there wasn't a whole lot. So I won't go too deep on him since it seems kind of a little barren. So we'll talk about him later, I'm sure. But I'm sure we'll get into him. We'll go real deep sometime in the next 10 episodes. So we got some guest stars for this. We got Paul Mousy Garner as Fingers, Maurice Manson as Mr. Glover, and Jack Bernandy as Scotty.
Okay.
So Paul Mousy Garner, he's got 49 acting credits on IMDb. They went from 1929 to 2008, although he died in 2004, so I'm not sure where the 2008 credits coming from. It was for the Onion movie, like the website. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it was like stock footage.
Little flick, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was weird, but maybe like he just happened to be in the clip. I don't know. But Mousy wasn't his only nickname. He was also known as the Grand Old Man of Vaudeville.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, how do you get downgraded to Mousy after that?
What do you mean? After being the Grand Old Man of Vaudeville?
The Grand Old Man of Vaudeville. That's right up there with the Dr. Dre of Kansas.
His final vaudevillian act. His final vaudevillian act is he ate a bowl of live mice.
People loved it too, which is weird. It really says something about society, if you ask me. But
and he wanted to quit after 13, but then he started chanting "Mousy, Mousy." And
Yeah.
I think they were saying mouse eat, and then or eat mouse, but the way it was like going, it came into mouse eat, and then they thought it was mousy, so that's his nickname.
Yeah, and he saw that he got a glint in his eye, and he just started downing him. So it's kind of a dark tale.
It
But
is.
Still holds the record today, though.
I think
Yeah, Joey Chestnut won't even try to beat that one.
No, he will not.
Live
No.
mice? No thanks.
yeah, that's a hard one. Yeah,
Mhm.
but I think the official record, if I had to guess, would probably say that he was mousy first, and then became the grand old man of vaudeville. But we all know the truth. Because apparently he was doing vaudeville performances till like his 70s, 80s. He was like super old.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
In his last vaudeville performance, he ate a bowl. Amazing.
Yeah.
To remind people why he's been called mousy all this time.
Maybe it was his first performance and his last. He bookended his career with eating mice.
Yeah. He wanted to make sure that people would never forget him. Never.
Nope.
But he was well known as a comedy musician type. He started performing in 1913. He was just a little kid when he was just singing, and he was in a family group. He also entertained soldiers in World War One. He became part of Ted Healy's New Stooges after Moe, Larry, and Curly left. The New Stooges were kind of short-lived. They didn't last long.
Kind of. Never were.
Yeah,
Sounds like when they replaced Bo and Luke Duke with the Cousins. That's what that sounds like. They found 3 other guys to be the Stooges.
Yeah, so he was in there. And I was diving through his IMDb listings, as I do, and I found a movie. It's right up our alley. It's called Saturday the 14th.
I love it.
Man, I've seen that movie.
You have?
I have. It's been a really long time, but yes, I have.
Oh my God, this might be a first for the SCUMA. Keith he recognizes something over the
Hold
bow.
on. Oh, the dials are popping out of the dashboard again. We're
Warning,
depressurizing.
You guys see this? He's like, I know exactly what that is. I haven't seen this in. I never thought I'd hear that name again. As a
I
Saturday
probably
Sports.
haven't seen it in like 30 some odd years, but yes, yeah.
This movie came out in 2008, and it starts.
It's so it gets bad on Friday the 13th, but it's worse on Saturday the 14th.
Everybody knows that.
Sounds like it.
The movie's about a family who moves into a haunted mansion. It has an evil book in it that apparently has a bunch of scary monsters trapped inside. We've got fishmen, demons, werewolf-looking things, vampires, all sorts of stuff walking around in this movie. It looks pretty bad, but Paul has a role in it. He's known as the Major. I think he's a pest control guy that they call to try to get rid of these monsters or something. So,
as one would do, pest control, take care of.
that's right. Yep. Next time, just call the Munster Hunters. We'll take care of it.
I got a vacuum.
I'll be
for
honest.
those.
I think that's on Amazon Prime, and I think it might be on my watch list right now.
What?
Oh,
Because I
You
clicked on it 'cause
pressed the little plus next to that.
yeah, because I think I was interested in going man, I remember this from when I was a kid. I wonder if it's any good. I don't remember any of it. The way that outside of the name, I don't remember anything else about it. But it's on a list of weird movies I've been looking forward to rewatching at some point.
Okay.
well, you have to keep us posted on that because very curious about that. But we've also got Maurice Manson. He's got 180 acting credits on IMDb, going from 1948 to 1982. He has, small roles, TV and film, but he was in even something I recognized. He was in The Creature Walks Among Us, which is a Creature from the Black Lagoon movie. It's the third one, I believe. So
Nice.
that was cool. I've only seen the first one. I'm planning on watching them all in the near future, but yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. I mentioned Three Stooges earlier. Well, this guy was in a Three Stooges movie as well. It was called Three Stooges in Orbit, where the Stooges go into space and face off against alien spies.
Alien spies.
That's right.
Fair enough.
It's classic. Once it's always the classic. You run out of ideas for these comedy stooge movies. Send them to space. That's
Yeah,
what they
for
do
sure.
every time. So
Just like they did with Fast and Furious.
yeah,
Jason and Freddy and
Leprechaun,
Michael Myers and Leprechaun. and-
Hellraiser went there. I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm not against that. I love it when they do that. But This, they are in a space race. They're helping a scientist, I guess, with some sort of secret spacecraft. What could go wrong? Why would you bring the Stooges along for that? I question, but hey, I'm sure they're very helpful. And the aliens, they kind of look like Frankenstein monsters, so that's kind of fun. Like a little connection there. Yeah. Some little Hermans running around.
From the planet that was terraformed by Herman's
nipples. That could be.
Oh, yeah.
That's the planet we sent it to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, now they're coming back for revenge. Why have you cursed us with life? Let us die with dignity, they say. But we've got Jack Bernardi. He's got 69 acting credits. That goes from 1951 to 1989. He hasn't really been in a whole lot of crazy stuff, mostly, small bit parts and guest appearances. But he was in Wonton Ton, the dog that saved Hollywood, which I mentioned a long time ago. Yeah. He was in that.
I remember old Wonton Ton.
And he was also in a Brian De Palma movie, which is someone I've heard of, but I've never heard of this particular movie.
He was the director of Scarface.
Yeah, and Carrie and other things, I'm sure. But he's a guy I know, and I was like, cool. And then I saw the movie. It was Get to Know Your Rabbit. That's what it was called.
That's a Brian De Palma movie?
Yes.
Oh, no.
This is not what I think of when I think of Brian De Palma. And it's about a burnt-out businessman who decides to ditch his career and become a tap-dancing magician.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That's right. De Palma's alley.
I'll be honest. I don't there's so much going on. Like, these concepts of some of these movies that we read off is amazing.
It sounds like a randomly generated logline. But,
yes.
Keith, I was worried you're about to say, I'll be honest, I think I've seen this movie before. I thought
that's one of my top 6 movies of all time.
No, I was going to say something else, but I opted not to, so.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
well,
weird.
This movie looks pretty boring. At one point, he's carrying around a hat, tap dancing around the stage. He pulls out a rabbit. He's taking magic lessons from Orson Welles. Orson Welles is in this movie. And I was surprised. And Orson Welles kind of critiques his rabbit holding technique. He is not impressed.
Your rabbit holding technique is poor.
Look at your hands.
That's my Orson Welles without hearing Orson Welles and just trying to remember how he sounded.
Pretty good. It's pretty spot on.
I thought so, yeah.
But no wine before it's time.
No wine?
It was him in the commercial. He used to do.
I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's really drunk and he's doing it or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this movie looks pretty bad. But I was just kind of happy to see people I recognize. But it doesn't seem to happen much in SCUMA. So that's always fun when you see old Brian De Palma floating down here with us and Orson Welles. Oh, hey guys, you're down here too, huh?
And the bloated corpse of Orson Welles is down by us now.
They never want to come back with us though for some reason.
No.
They seem pretty perfectly happy where they're at. So
yeah. They have died with dignity.
They have, yes.
Down near the gates of hell.
Yeah, actually, they seem pretty perturbed that I would ever bring up something like this, as if their dignity might go away.
Please forget this movie.
Look at the SCUMA driving. Not very impressive. That's all I've got. So let's just slowly start rising.
Too late. I am in the car, and I've gone to the gas station and come back with drinks for everybody.
Oh,
thank you.
Wow, that's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, well, I figured, why not?
Yeah.
As soon as Terry says, as soon as I could tell that the cadence is slowing down, that's when I launch myself up back towards the surface. You see me previously. I'm greasing myself up so I can just cut through the water like a knife. And the water pressure just launches me, and I landed at the gas station this time. So, that's why.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Pretty convenient, too.
Yeah. I may have planned it that way. Anywho, we're back. Hopefully you guys don't have the Munster SCUMA bends, because that's the worst kind of bends there are.
I'm kind of used to it by now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm immune to the bends now. I have blood vessels made of steel.
I actually kind of like them.
You like the bends?
It tickles
He
a little
appreciates air bubbles in his veins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tingly.
Yeah, tingly. That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
So here we are. We are talking about season 1, episode 21. We are inching our way closer and closer. I mathed it out We will finish season 1 right after Thanksgiving.
Wow. Okay.
my
We got a
God,
ways
I
to go.
I know. It's not even August yet. Holy smokes.
I was telling some friends about the show, and I was just like, every time I look, it seems like more episodes just keep getting tacked onto the show.
That first season, those 38 episodes are just. I just tell my wife the other day. She goes, "Why were there 38 episodes?" Like, beats the hell out of me.
It's no Lassie. There could have been 19 seasons of this, so maybe we should be thankful.
Yeah, I think they are a little bit.
Although Lassie Hunters, maybe next teaser.
Hunting dogs. Nothing warms the cockles of the heart more than the idea of hunting animals.
The most
Particularly
dangerous
dogs.
game. Yeah, Lassie.
There we go. Season 1, episode 21. Don't Bank on Herman. Came out February 10th, 1965. The TV guide says, when Lily sends Grandpa and Herman to the bank, they wind up involved in a robbery. Now, thankfully, since I just copy-pasted that and then put it here, I didn't say they wind up involved in a robbery. They wind up involved in a robbery. It's spelled the same. 7.3 on IMDb. Feels lofty. This one opens up, unlike any others. Marilyn is sick on the couch with a thermometer in her mouth.
Yeah, she's not doing good.
No,
A giant thermometer, by the
she's
way.
got a giant thermometer, the kind that you don't want to take rectally. She is sent home from school. She looks terrible with all that color in her cheeks. And she's got a fever, and oh my, it's terrible. It's at least 38.6 degrees too high because it's 98.6 in the Munsters, where they average in the low 50s, which got the resounding, just the canned laughter was like all for that one.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like an interesting tidbit. Add that to the notes. Oh, 50-degree blood heat, huh? Body heat. Interesting.
Now, possibly the number 2 moment of the entire episode happens now because Eddie pops up out from behind the couch for no reason
Yes.
and scares the shit out of Herman. And he's like, Grandpa's in the dungeon mixing up a cure. And the thing is, Herman was scared, and it was kind of nice. I like that. So Herman walks over, cracks open the trap door, grabs one of those little megaphones that cheerleaders scream out of, and screams down, "High fever!" And then we see Grandpa, and he's mixing up stuff, and he goes, "High fever!" And he calls back. And then Marilyn's like, "I feel so low." And then that gets relayed to Herman. Feels low, feels low, feels low. And then Grandpa mixes up some bubbles, looks like soap, and he says, "That ought to lift her spirits." And then the unexplainable happens because I don't know what the hell happened. Marilyn is floating off the couch.
She didn't drink it. It just happened somehow.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is floating off the couch. And I bet you the script says, Marilyn drinks soapy water. And she said, "Nah, I'm not going to do that." I'm like, all right, we'll just pretend. Because Grandpa never came up with the potion, but Marilyn's floating.
Also, I have questions how this potion is actually going to work when her fever is not actually high.
No. I mean,
This sounds like it could do more damage than
Probably.
than good.
Yeah, like if they tried to cool her off, then we have issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that causes a problem is when they tell Grandpa to stop what he's doing and she drops back down.
Yeah.
So much dust comes off that thing.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I'm like, this is not a safe work environment for these people. Like,
No.
there's just so much, especially her, because she is basically coated in it at that point.
And when you consider it's all asbestos, it has to be. So
also from production value standpoint, I mean, I guess we really don't see her much the rest of the time.
no.
But she's got to be coated with dust that they would have to stop. She'd have to go take a shower.
Well, they don't do
makeup,
multiple takes,
all that stuff. No, I'm talking for the rest of the episode.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, luckily they don't do multiple takes on Munster recordings. One and done. And then when it's no strain Bellamy, then it's one and done the easy way.
That's right.
So Lily's like, "Forget it," and then goes, forget it, down to Herman, "Forget it." And then Grandpa says, "Forget it." And then he does something, and then Marilyn drops. All the crap comes out of the couch. Lily is pissed. She's super pissed again. I don't know what the stretches of episodes where Lily just gets angry at everything, but it continues here.
It's starting to be her thing, I feel like.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like it. I'm glad she's getting something. I don't know. I like it when everybody's a little grumpy in these episodes. I feel.
Yeah,
like.
you like the grumpy Munsters.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like the unnecessarily grumpy Munsters because she's really upset, and he's like, he needs to give up medicine, those cures of his, or take up practice in California. Which I thought they were in California.
That's what I thought too. I thought it was except for the fact that he doesn't actually have a practice.
Yeah,
he just does it on his own.
So Lily is like, well, I might take Marilyn upstairs. And this is what we heard up top. But Marilyn was going to go to the bank. So here it is. Here's the setup. Can the Munsters dunk this basketball of Herman and Grandpa going to the bank?
Yep.
Banger.
I want to give him...
Oh, go ahead, Terry.
Oh, I don't know. Did this happen yet where Herman's like, well, what could go wrong with a level-headed, conscientious man like me? I want to give him credit. They did not linger on the level-headed part, which is like classic, he's a Frankenstein's monster thing.
Joke,
I was like,
which I think they've done that a lot more lately, where they've slipped in like those jokes that we normally would be like, oh, God. But they've done it in a way where they don't stick on them very long.
They don't linger on it. Like they don't.
It's more subtle.
It's not the punchline part of the thing. It's just... Which is nice.
I'm giving them credit for that. I thought that was well done, Munsters. Well done. There's one other joke I'm going to give credit to, but that's a little teaser for you listeners and for my co-hosts.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait.
Also, though, as strong as Herman is, wouldn't it have been better to have him just lift Marilyn up, take her upstairs, nice and easy, and Lily just go to the bank?
Well, then the episode doesn't exist, Keith.
Well, that might be saved for the multiverse.
Oh God. That'd be a fast episode.
Yeah.
Well, he gets everything she needs. He comes back. Yeah, and everything's fine.
So here we go. So that was the whole thing. It's the whole setup. Yep. Marilyn's sick. Herman's got to go to the bank instead because Marilyn usually goes to the bank. Lily, very trusting. I guess she's family. She's going to go, but we'll find out that. Banger. Because Herman's like, what problems can I get into? Banger. Come back from banger. Still same old banger. But I did notice... At the end of the song, I really heard it this time, there is a tuba in there, or maybe a French horn. It's like...
oh, really?
And I really enjoyed it. Yep.
I'm going to have to pay attention to that next time. Did not notice that.
So we come back. Lily is re-explaining the premise that we just witnessed prior to the banger. You need to go to the bank. Here's the bank book. I think Grandpa should go with you. Grandpa I'd rather go to the blood bank.
See, now that's that. I won't give him credit for that because that was, of course, Grandpa. Mm-hmm. We know you're a vampire. All right, We get it.
Herman has instructions to draw out all the money from the tax account, and he's like, says all the money. So when we take out all the money, yes, take all the money. Herman puts on his bowler hat I've never seen him wear before.
Nope.
I'm like, nice, cool hat.
I like it. Yep.
Gives Lily a kiss. And Lily's like, bring it straight back here. Like, that's the warning, right? Get all the money and bring it straight home.
Yeah, because he likes to go play poker with the guys at the parlor.
Yes. Yes.
They wanted to sidetrack on the way back. Plus, Grandpa likes to get in the mischief.
Yes.
Grandpa could run away at any second, so
yeah. Grandpa could transform into something and slip through some cracks or something, but no. Here we go. Now we're at the bank, and they are literally carrying money bags around, which I loved. How else would you know it's a bank, right? Like, the guy's got a money bag, carrying it around, goes over to the bank boss, Mr. Grover. It's like, hey, Mr. Grover. And Grover's like, well, there's all those reports of masked bandits terrorizing this side of town. And I was like, oh, okay. They hold up the main office just this morning. Guess what? They wear trademark Halloween masks in their hideous disguises. I'm like, oh my God. They may be here today. Why? But here they are. They wear Halloween masks and they rob banks. And lo and behold, what a coinky dink. We have two Halloween mask-like wearing people coming to the bank. But the dude's like, I'll warn the tellers. Mr. Grover's like, whoa, be careful. These bandits are heavily armed. Our policy is hand over all the money. We don't want anyone shot. Mm-hmm. So the policy, which is it should be because the money's insured, hand over the money. And in this situation, this paves the way for what's going to happen seconds later because Herman and Grandpa walk into the bank.
Yes, right at this moment, practically, it feels like.
Yep. And Grandpa's like, over here, Herman, and everyone's staring at him. Now, Grandpa looks very Halloweeny. I noticed like his outfit looked so out of place in this realm. Like him in the bank with the count cloak on and the high collars. Man, he looked like he was in a costume.
It's like when Lily goes out and she's wearing whatever that big like sleeping bag type thing is.
Oh yeah.
Where Herman, I mean, until you see his face, he does just look like a very large guy.
And now in this situation, he has the bowler hat on, so you don't even see the flat head. You're just like, man, he's ugly, and that's where you go with it.
He's got some bolts in his neck, but no,
whatever. They could be, there for maybe that's like where he hooks up his like mouth gear at night when he goes to sleep. Orthodontics. So Herman, Grandpa walk in the bank. They go over there. Everyone gasps because they're like, well, these are clearly the trademark Halloween mask-wearing burglars.
Yep.
And then Herman just goes, I'd like all the money. Not all of my money, or here's my withdrawal slip. It's like he's never been to the bank before.
Who has ever said that to the bank?
No.
I want all the money.
Only people that rob banks.
Yep.
So Herman says, I'd like all the money. And as was established 45 seconds earlier, we need to be careful. These bandits are heavily armed. Our policy is to hand over all the money. We don't want anyone shot. So what does she start doing? The teller? Just shoveling all kinds of loose cash. There was just so much loose cash on the counter, and she just starts throwing it at him.
Yeah, and then Grandpa, he gets cranky about this.
Yeah.
It's like, going to be too hard to carry. What the heck?
Put it in a bag, damn it.
Yeah. By the way, she sent Grandpa with, like, to kind of keep an eye on Herman, but didn't tell him the instructions. Because Grandpa should have known how much money they were supposed to get, and that looks a little bit off.
Yeah.
Even send Eddie along. Eddie's at least responsible.
Eddie could have handled this perfectly.
Eddie would have handled this like a champ. So anyway, Herman's got a big bag of cash. He's like, oh, thank you. Very quick service. Grandpa said, it's a pleasure doing business on the way out. And then Herman stops again on the way out the door and says, goodbye. He like waves to everybody, which I thought was pleasant. I like that.
That was nice. I like that too. He's just peeking over this massive wall and just like, bye now.
So then we get back to the house. And Grandpa and Herman are hanging out with the cash. There's like the bag of cash is sitting on the mantle. Herman's leaning against it. Grandpa's like, I had no idea Lily had that much in the tax account. Herman's like, I know. As the hipsters say, that's quite a bag full of bread, which got all sorts of canned laughs.
That was, it was a weird thing to say. It kind of got like a weird, like, huh? Out of me.
I mean, I don't hang out with a lot of hipsters, but I'm sure it sounds accurate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that cabbage. Yep. So Grandpa wants to count it. Herman's like, well, that's a good idea. They may have robbed us.
They laughed that up. Oh, yeah.
Then we cut to fat stacks. There is so much cash on the on the coffee table, just stacked up, and he's like 18,100, 18,200, 18,300. I don't know what the significance of that number is, but it's $18,300.
Seems oddly specific, yeah.
Yes. Lily's got I got news. We only had $680 in our tax account. And she says, you know what this means? And Herman, because he's Herman, our bank gives a generous interest rate. And instead, she goes, no, it means you goofed it again. And she's very upset at Herman.
This is the maddest I think I've seen her.
Yes, she's very upset. Now, granted, Herman did quite goof it up because he said, I'd like all the money. Instead of doing bank procedures, he just came in demanding cash. And as we've known in the past, he warps the reality around him, so who knows what happened. But Herman doesn't get how he goofed it up. And then Lily says, I'll show you how. And then she spends the next minute and a half recounting the episode up until this point. I mean, almost like line for line. This is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened.
And Herman, he's been there the whole time. So his response is, Well, that sounds like something that happened to me.
Yes. But she ends it with, this feather-brained klutz came home with $18,300 that didn't belong to him. And then Herman, what a coincidence. Same thing happened to me. Because he lived it. We know it. We just watched it all.
Yes.
But then Lily, she clears it up. That feather-brained klutz is you. Now, Herman then has a moment here that I really, really enjoyed.
Damn.
He's like, don't blame me. Your father was there too. And then she yells at him again. And he goes, listen, I couldn't have counted the money at the bank because the teller would have thought I didn't trust her. And then she would have gotten angry and started yelling and everything. And then Herman is really upset.
He looks sad. He looks like he's about to cry. And I felt sad too.
I loved it.
Yes.
Not because I wanted to see him cry, because it was kind of like a very human moment.
Yes.
It's like, I just didn't want to get yelled at. I thought I was doing the right thing. Instead, I come home and get yelled at.
Mm-hmm. Lily feels a little bit bad about this too.
Yeah, and she apologizes, and Herman is like, well, I'll take the money back tomorrow. Lily says, you have to take the money back tomorrow with ADR. So you're not mad anymore? How can I stay mad at you, pussycat? Oh. And then Herman, in a very gleeful, childlike manner, starts playing with the money. He's fanned out in front of himself. He's counting it. It's like, I haven't seen this much money before. Can't I just play with it until I have to give it back? Well, now Lily's pissed again. And she yells at him, and then Herman drops the money in shock.
She gets so mad that the mics peak and distort, and I can't exactly hear what she says. It's so loud.
She does.
She
yells at him hard.
I love that Herman just starts playing with it. That was just sometimes Herman just gets a childlike sense of wonder, and I just like that about him.
I do like that too. But he just had that fanned out from he was playing some weird game of cards, and the money were cards.
He's about to make it rain.
Yes, he is. Man, that was nice. Walking in the club as Herman. All right. So now we cut to Lily and Herman in bed, and there's something off. Did you guys see what was off there?
Lily's on the opposite side.
Yeah. Lily is on the opposite side. Normally, Herman sleeps on the left side and Lily's on the right side, but not this time.
Huh.
And I don't know why. There was nothing specific about it, unless there's some weird camera angle they wanted. But Herman is counting the money in his sleep, and I enjoyed this. 18,100. It's the same thing again, right? And he's giggling and rubbing his check. He's like, money, 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 money.
Yes.
My good man, I'll take the black limousine and those 2 red convertibles, please. And this is what disturbed Lily, and she wakes up. She's kind of half awake, and Herman's laughing in his sleep and giggling. Please, girls, stop kissing me. Just because I gave you a few diamond necklaces doesn't mean you own me. Which would be the opposite way around, but whatever. And
that's amazing.
Lily's eyes pop open, and then it isn't until Herman goes, Zsa, no, I'm rolling in money. I'm swimming in money. I'm drowning in money. Drowning. And this is what upsets Lily. So she grabs a pitcher of water, which was apparently on the side of the bed, and she goes, all right, drown, and dumps it on Herman's face. Holy cow. So mean and aggressive.
Oh, man. This is one of my favorite jokes in this whole episode.
The whole segment of him talking in sleep and then her pouring it, I absolutely loved. It might be one of my favorite things. I've occasionally caught my wife sleep. She's been talking in her sleep. One time she was talking, she's going chicken. I was like, oh, really? What kind of chicken? It's just fried chicken. I don't know. What else? Ashes, corn. She doesn't remember having this conversation, but I got her to continue talking about whatever meal she was dreaming about.
Nice.
So I really enjoyed this whole thing, especially with the part with, oh, ladies, please.
Yes,
please. Just because I gave you things doesn't mean you own me.
And then Zsa Gabor.
Zsa Gabor, yeah. So Lily dumps that waterboards Herman awake, and he goes, help, I'm drowning. You can't let me drown. I'm a rich man, which I enjoyed. Lily is she's done. She's like, just go back to sleep. Herman's, I can't sleep until that money is back in the bank. He was just sleeping, but now, whatever. Lily says,
or maybe the fact that he's laying in a wet, very wet part of the bed now. Yeah.
I'm laying in a soaking wet bed. I can't sleep in this. Lily says, just go back to sleep. Herman can't. Lily says, sure you can. You'll take it back first thing in the morning when they open. And Lily says, oh, God. She has the big whiff of the night. I'm just dead. Then leans back down really fast, closes her eyes, and tilts her head and goes back to sleep.
Yeah, that didn't look great. I didn't think.
Oh, it did not land at all. That was not a good joke. Herman, though, could be wet, could be he's anxious about the money, but he's all flustered. I can't sleep, and I can't wait until he opens tomorrow, which would be somewhere between 4 and 12 hours from now. I can't wait for another 4 to 12 hours. I'll take the money back tonight.
Yeah, because that makes sense. Yeah.
Makes no sense. But Herman gets up and grabs the bag of cash that was under his pillow, which I thought was funny.
It is now soaked, probably also.
Yes. But literally, all he has to do is wait 4 to 12 hours, somewhere between there. I don't know the exact time, but bank opens at 9, right? So, assuming it's somewhere between 5 a.m. and 9 p.m.
Yeah, that seems like it could go. Like he's like such a law-abiding citizen. I'm surprised that he's like, I'm gonna go into the bank at night where nobody's there. You know, like that seems like that'd be like somebody else's idea, and he gets roped into it or something.
Yes,
that's a grandpa idea.
Yeah.
Yes,
and he gets stuck going in. Also, what? Just go sing to people on the ham radio for a while, then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Waste some time.
Do anything, kill some time. Then go to the bank in the morning. Nope, going right now. And what happens next is very un-Herman, because they're at the bank and Grandpa is going to short circuit the burglar alarm, and he electrocutes himself. Great.
Oh yeah, cool special effect. That looked awesome.
It was very cool. Herman gets a kick out of that. He's got a grin on his face. So, are you good, Grandpa? No, just a little lightheaded. But he short circuited the main fuse. He grabs the cash and tells Herman to open the door. Herman rips open the bank door. This is so un-Herman. The guy who wouldn't cross the street on a do not walk sign when he was trying to chase down who he thought was a romantic partner with his wife, right? It's like, well, I can't cross the street yet. This guy rips open up a door off a bank in the middle of the night.
But he's doing it for good reason, because he wants to return this money that he took mistakenly.
I understand that, but he could also wait 4 to 12 hours, So Grandpa, so they walk in the bank. Herman knocks on the door and they both go in. Herman puts the door perfectly back. Great. Now Grandpa goes, if I remember correctly, the vault is someplace over there. The vault is on one of the 4 walls in the bank, and it's fucking huge.
Can't miss it.
Giant vault on the wall.
I mean, it's pretty much the main thing of the room, I would say. Really
very noticeable
hard to
from all
miss.
points. So Herman, he's wasting time filling his fountain pen. I thought that was funny. He's trying to fill his fountain pen. Grandpa's like, get over here, you dipshit, whatever he says.
You feather
Everybody's
brain
yelling at
flathead
Herman
or
all the
whatever.
Yeah.
Again, let's return the money that you mistakenly took. But then when he's there, he's like, I'm going to swipe some ink over here.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
refill my pen.
Yeah. At the time, Bic pens weren't really a thing. So maybe, if you didn't have an inkwell at home, maybe ink was expensive. It's like printer ink. At the time, it was like $7 a gallon.
Oh, yeah. It's just cheaper to get a whole new pen than if
Yeah, exactly. Herman comes running over, and then there's the vault. They're like, oh, but there's a timer on it. It says it will open at 9 a.m. And it looks like an alarm clock glued to a wall. So Herman says, well, maybe it works like an alarm clock. He rips it off.
Not supposed to come off, but he rips it off.
Oh, yeah. He pulls it hard. It comes off the wall. And he's just like, I can set it from the back. What time should I set it to? And Grandpa looks at the clock. It's like, what time was it? Oh, it's almost 3. Set it to 3. They have to wait 6 hours. They're like, well, bank doesn't open for 6 hours. Let's go find an all-night diner, drink some coffee, come back. Nope. Let's just continue with our plan of breaking into a bank vault. So, Herman, 1, 2, 3, turns the dial to the back, counts it out, crams the thing back back in place, and then within seconds it goes ding, and then the vault opens. Whew.
Oh yeah, and they're pumped. They're like cackling. They're like jumping up and down as they walk in. I love whenever they're like laughing together. I think that's funny.
Oh, like the worst bank vault ever, though.
Yes.
Like You just have to adjust the time on the little clock.
Herman used his superhuman strength to pull it off the wall, though. So
yeah, but I'm sure somebody else could just come in with like a
Frankenstein's monster of their own.
No, but like a crowbar or something like that, and pop the thing off, and then just adjust it. Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna. Security does not seem to be the most important thing about this bank, but I mean, I guess. Well, maybe it is. I guess they had like alarms. The door was locked. I mean, they had a vault. I guess they just never planned on grotesque creatures breaking in and using their supernatural abilities
in the middle of the night to return money.
The ultimate heist. Yeah.
It's an unheist.
The reverse heist. Yeah, anti-heist.
Yeah, anti-heist. Oh, the anti-heist.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Damien is the anti-heist. So the two, pumped, laughing, giggling, they go skipping into the vault, and it is pitch black. Herman's like, well, I need to find the light switch. And then he finds it. He flicks it on.
Mm-hmm. He tries above the door first.
Which is the most common place for a light switch. It turns out it's right next to the door. Turns it on. And Grandpa's like, oh, it's cozy in here. Reminds me of the catacombs I used to crawl around when I was little. Okay. Grandpa says they better say goodbye to their short-lived prosperity. And Herman goes, goodbye, short-lived prosperity. Now, and this is where it goes. Now they're like brushing the dust off their hands. All we have to do is leave. And then, of course, the sound of a vault door closing happens. They're like,
I kind of think this is like, now we're at the point where this episode starts to take a downward turn from like the 7.7 rating on Amazon.
You think this is where the downward turn happens?
Yeah, because I kind of liked it up until this point.
I think this is where the funniest part in the entire episode occurs. Not immediately, but coming up. But it's like, now all we have to do is go home. He. Job well done there. Let's not go sucking each other's dicks so fast. Right? The door slams. And Herman's like, did you hear the door slam? And yes, I did. And then they do this. God, I hated this.
This was bad.
Was it the back door? No. Was it a side door? No. What kind of door was it? And then they do, they're like, if that's the door and you're you, then it was the only door. They did the Kevin McAllister slapping the cheeks, screaming to the camera.
Yes.
Oh, God, it was so bad. So now they're trapped in there, locked in there, hermetically sealed in there is what Grandpa says, and they're all very upset. Grandpa's upset they may never get out of there again, but Herman is resigned to the fate. He's like,
his reaction was pretty funny. He just like casually walks to the side of the room, sits down, crosses his legs. He's
It'll
like,
teach us a good lesson, is what he says.
He had like a weird little smirk on his face and everything when he did. Like, all right.
That's what we get for messing with the laws of God. That's what we get for playing God.
Yes.
All right. Lily is walking down the hall with a candle, knocks on Marilyn's door. Have you seen Uncle Herman? No. Grandpa? No, his slab hasn't even been slept on. Think they went on one of their strolls to the cemetery? Oh, could be. Only thing those two dig is graveyards.
Of course.
Oh. But Lily recognizes that, like, well, Herman couldn't sleep because of the money, and I wasn't very sympathetic. No, you weren't.
Yes, that's true.
Yep. So they're at peace. They're like, they're probably just walking through the graveyard.
Yeah, surely Herman didn't go to the bank and try to break in. That would be stupid.
No, why would you even think of that? Because that is...
You have to be like a feather-brained imbecile to have done that.
Yeah, a feather-brained klutz, I believe.
Yes. He'd really have goofed it up if he had. Yeah,
I mean, it's not like she looked underneath the pillow to see if the money was still there too, because that probably would be a really giveaway. If
maybe Herman took the money and ran. I don't know if that crossed her mind.
He went to the boat. I mean, if they're in California, they're not that far from Vegas.
No,
that's true.
Plenty of ladies that buy diamonds.
Now that's an episode we want to see. Herman and Grandpa at the Tangiers.
Yes,
with $18,300.
But Herman all suited up and he's got the bowler hat on. Oh man, I would love that.
Put it all on black. All right, so
Grandpa would put it on red because
Well, Grandpa would have the power to make the little
Oh yeah, yeah,
ball
they would.
skip to where it needs to go to. You'd think.
Yep, they'd make bank.
Yep. So Herman is getting stir crazy. Gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here. Can't find. Where's Grandpa? Where are you, Grandpa? He was behind him.
Ugh.
Yeah, that was extremely stupid too.
Yes.
Because then Grandpa just turns like he's yelling, "Grandpa, Grandpa!" Right? Grandpa's just standing right behind him, and then turns and it's like, "Were you looking for me? I'm right here." Like,
Yeah.
in like a weird way. I'm like, "This is dumb."
Yeah,
Yep.
he hadn't turned into any sort of animal to hide or anything.
No.
He just was right there standing.
So here they are, trapped in this 15 by 15 room, where the vault door closed, and then they finally notice after how much time of lamenting their fate, they notice that right next to the vault door is a panel that says "for emergency use only." But now next to that panel is another button.
Yeah.
And, on top of that button, I read the words. It says "press for police," but they don't see that. They see the panel that says "for emergency use only," and they're like, "Oh, this is an emergency." So they open up, and inside's a phone. Herman's going to call the police. Oh, perfect! I have a way to contact the police. Not this button that says "press for police," but this phone in this emergency box. So he pulls it out. He dials 0. Operator answers. And he goes, "Can I have the number for the police?" "Which district?" Herman, which district? Mockingbird Heights. "Well, that's a local call. Just call him yourself." I'm like, But he doesn't have the number. She's like, "Well, it's in the directory." "I don't have a directory." "Patching you through to information." I'm like, oh, finally, somebody that can help. So Herman's patched me through to information. I'm like, okay. They're like, Herman and Grandpa are sitting there. Information gives them the number. Mockingbird Heights Police. Oh, 177-9771. Write that down, Grandpa. And Grandpa's like, oh, he's got a piece of paper, but he doesn't have a pen. So he's like, give me a pen. And he goes, here's my pen from before. And he goes to write it, but it's out of ink.
Yes.
It's out of ink, you idiot. And Grandpa, now this is one of the few times where the Munsters has set up something.
Yes.
And paid it off.
This is where this is the second joke I was going to compliment. This is, the first time they've actually, like, because I feel like other Munsters episode, he would have just like, oh, my pen's out of ink for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, they actually put some effort in, thought about it beforehand, and came up with something.
It's like, you wouldn't let me fill it. And the Grandpa is very, very upset. And then we have the following clip.
Ooh.
177-9771.
Right.
Well, they'll want to know where we are. What's the address of this bank?
I think it's 406 91st Street.
406 91st Street. 406 91st Street. I'll just keep that in my head.
You got it?
I got it. 406 91st Street. And the telephone number is 177-9771.
Right. And Herman, when you get the police, they'll be here in 5 or 10 minutes. If they go like 60, we'll have 7 or 8 of them down here in 20 winks. And it'll be 1, 2, button my shoe, 3, 4, and they'll open the door. Oh. Herman, what are you waiting for, Herman? Dial the number.
You made me forget it.
So to me, that was the highlight of the episode.
Oh, you like that? Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
that went way too long.
It was the highlight of the episode, for me at least, because there it was. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming.
You knew they were going to forget it, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it's good that Grandpa throws in all those extra numbers or whatever, but I mean, I didn't enjoy that much as like the stuff in the first half of the episode so far.
Really? To me, that was the funniest part of this whole episode.
Nice.
So if for you think it was not that good, then 7.3 is lofty. Herman's forgotten the number, god damn it. And Grandpa grabs the phone and he's pissed. He dials 0 and he's screaming at the operator, "Listen, lady, we're trapped in a bank vault. Its walls are 3 feet thick. Listen, lady, you better get some. We need help. Listen, lady." He's like screaming, "Listen, lady."
Yeah.
And then the listen lady responds, "I'd love to help you, sir, but this is a recording." And
that
then
blew my mind.
Grandpa's like, "It's a recording." Herman grabs the phone and breaks it in half. Grandpa slams his hand on the wall and hits the giant button that was right next to the phone that says push to summon the police. So the lights going off. They're like, oh, look, push to summon the police. They're like, we didn't see this for some reason, even though it is eye level right next to what we were interacting with. In just a few minutes, we'll have someone on the other side of the door trying to get in. So that phrasing right there leads to, at the same moment, just two dudes walk in the front door of the bank. They are not police. Now, I looked at this point. There was roughly 4 minutes left in the whole episode. So that means we had to get to the commercial break, do the button at the end, and have credits all in 4 minutes. Herman and Grandpa still in the bank vault.
Yes.
They're in the bank vault. They've been there for well over 4 minutes. We only have 4 minutes to wrap this baby up. So just then, two dudes, one that looks like Joe Pesci, and then another one that looks like a Dick Tracy villain, they walk in, and it's the robbers.
Now,
I'm like, whoa.
There's no Halloween masks or anything of that sort.
But
they're not heavily armed. Well, I guess maybe they are.
Well, yeah, we'll find out how armed they are in a
I
second.
mean, the one guy's excited not to have to dress up like ghouls.
Yes.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so they explain it. Never mind.
Yeah. But they're throwing out the police by hitting the bank at night. No one would ever suspect this. So then they get over to like where you fill out the little deposit slips and stuff like that. And the one dude, what's his name? Fingers or Sticky Fingers. He stumbles the fuck through some lines. What a break. Someone disconnected the burglar alarm. I'm just like, oh, Christ, man. The Munsters need enough film for at least 2 takes. Because if that was the best one, that was rough. And then at the same time, one of them pulls out some dynamite. And they're like, oh, the front door. That's the easiest lock I ever picked. They're like, oh, man, this bank is really asking for it. And the dude starts to drill into the bank vault door with a big drill. Herman and Grandpa hear it. It sounds like a drill. Herman's pissed. A drill? Who wants to be rescued by a dentist?
Boo.
Boo is right.
Yep,
that
terrible.
joke deserves a boo.
That joke alone means that you can't get past the 7 on
Yes.
on IMDb.
Yes, anything over a 7 is generous. So, back to the dude. He's drilled a hole. He put a stick of dynamite in the hole that he drilled. Scotty, you sure this job is worth it? Fingers, when we blow this door open, you won't believe what's inside. I'm like, oh.
Good line.
Nice word choice.
Well,
They do that a lot. They did that earlier when Herman's like, when someone's going to come inside, like you'll never know who's going to enter the bank vault. And they're doing the exact same thing again. Maybe a little repetitive, but I like the Roberts version better, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So they light the fuse as dynamite. And then, as you would do with a full stick of dynamite, they move about 5 feet away behind a little partition. On the inside, Herman, it got quiet out there. You don't think they gave up on it, do you? Grandpa's like, oh, I'm sure they just stopped for a cigarette or something. I'm sure we'll be hearing a noise any minute now, which got canned laughter. Oh, they know. It's like they know there's dynamite on their side. Grandpa and Herman put their arms around each other, which I like this. They're holding each other on the shoulder, standing right in front of the door, like holding a proud position for when that door opens. So like, hurrah, the Munsters. Back on the outside, the lightning, what's it called? Dynamite explodes. Boom goes the dynamite, and the door slowly swings open. Then the door falls, and the robbers look up from their cover, and out walk Herman and Grandpa. And the burglars are shook. Grandpa's like, that's the guys that did it. And Herman goes, hello. It's like the dumbest tone ever.
Yes.
And Herman's like, I feel so good. I'm going to give him a hug. And the two burglars are like, and they faint. Herman squeezes them. It's like a game I play with my 5-year-old where she's like, you hug me, then pretend to go asleep, and then I'll disappear. And then when you go, where are you? I'll pretend to walk by all nonchalant. Well, she didn't say nonchalant, but she goes, she walks by, and I'm like,
all smugly,
yes.
How did I do it?
Yep. So that's kind of what happens here. Herman hugs the two robbers. They faint and slide out of his arms. Grandpa then says, I think we better get out of here before someone shows up. They don't look like police to me. Plus, there's only 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in this episode, and we've got credits we gotta run still.
We gotta go, Herman. The episode's almost done.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Come back to the Munsters. You cannot go an episode without the Munsters eating. There they are at the breakfast table. Eddie wants Grandpa to read some more about the bank robbers. Headline: Mystery Men foil bank robbery. Subheadline: Yesterday's loot recovered. Phew. Thank goodness that was on there, because I had almost forgotten that why they were there they were returning some ill-gotten money. So Grandpa reads: Fingers Malone and Scotty Dusick, upon being revived by police at the scene of the attempted robbery, blamed their capture on 2 unidentified citizens who appeared from nowhere and rendered them unconscious. Herman and Grandpa, they got smug looks on their face, very much like my 5-year-old daughter.
Yes.
Walking by, and she does that.
Herman
So Lily is like, so brave of you, Herman. But do you think Lily knows that they locked themselves into the bank vault after they broke into the bank to return the money?
Nope.
I guarantee she doesn't.
No, they did not explain that part at all.
Herman's not going to mention that if he can help it. Yeah.
But there's more. Now these are thought to be the same persons who summoned the police on the bank's alarm system. So Marilyn, reading over Grandpa's shoulder, adds on, and it says a reward is waiting if the 2 men come forward. Now remember, we're in the dying seconds of this episode, so credits can happen at any time. Herman, are you going to claim the reward? Oh, I don't know. It would mean interviews and photographs, and you know how shy I am about having my picture taken. Credits? No.
Nope.
Because Herman starts messing with his hair, dolling himself up like prima donna, looks into the very clean and shiny frying pan he's holding for his reflection, and then the pan breaks. Bold. Very bold move. I'm like, wow, the pan breaks. And then Herman punches the bottom out of the pan, which I really kind of enjoyed. And then he's left like a cartoon looking through the bottomless pan.
Yes.
Credits!
I like that ending. Yeah.
I did like that ending. I did not like this episode. But that was season 1, episode 21. Don't bank on Herman. What'd y'all think?
Yeah, don't bank on this episode. It's not that good. It's like most of these episodes kind of like go, and I don't really mind. This one was a little. I actually felt like, okay, we're feeling like we're dragging on a little bit. This is kind of boring. There was some good stuff. I like Angry Lily. I think that is a fun quirk for her to have, where she gets like she's got kind of a temper, and I like that she apologizes when she realizes that she hurt Herman's feelings. Poor
Hermie.
Yeah, poor Herman. But. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, but I would just, I could have skipped this one, I think.
I like the first half of the episode. I like the whole the yelling down at Grandpa and then yelling back for all the stuff for like what to put in the potion. I like the whole back and forth of that.
Yeah,
I loved Lily just berating him and then him like twisting that like sob story. I didn't want to get yelled at, thing, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It, and immediately it's like trying to like boost his ego, and the whole talking in his sleep thing just killed me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once they get into the safe, it gets old very quickly.
Oh yeah, for sure. This whole episode got old for me real fast, but there were moments of fun-ishness. The talking in his sleep for sure, and the fact that he was sleeping on the money.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him playing with the money and the counting the fat stacks. $18,300, crazy. So multiply that by 7, and that's about what it was worth. So we're looking at almost $135,000 of today's cash.
You think it'd be more, but still
That's
pretty good.
Ton of money though, man. If somebody gave me mistakenly $135,000, I don't know if I'd return it. I know that probably makes me sound like a bad man, but that'd be a tough one.
It'd be a big internal debate in my brain. Yeah, being like, because that is like life-changing money. Yes.
Evil Derek and Angel Derek sitting on opposite shoulders, duking it out.
Yep.
Yeah, this episode stunk. It was straight up just not good. 7.3 is lofty. There's so much overwroughtness, like you said, Terry. Like it felt long. They didn't do anything. They could have done everything that happened in this episode in the opening 5 minutes. You could have got 8 minutes of tightly written that happens, and now the aftermath. Like it was really so just overdone. Just like, oh god.
And the whole setup is the whole thing of like Marilyn's not feeling well.
Yeah.
And like she's sick. Like she was like, okay, so she doesn't have a fever, but she feels low. Whatever her issue is for the day that she was sent home from school. Seems like a bigger setup than, oh, you know what? I gotta get the tax money. Also, why don't you just write a check for your taxes?
Yeah. So
like it's weird things like that. Like you had to go down and get the money, which by the way, I don't know if they ever resolved that the next day.
No.
Good point. Yeah.
Because they haven't been back down there to collect the reward anyway, so they still haven't done that. So like the little parts of that, but there's enough little nuggets in the first half that I thought this was at least started out as an enjoyable episode.
Yeah, it's interesting that because it is like really leaning into the Maryland thing. I was like, oh, finally we're gonna get a Maryland episode, but nope, she's just there for the beginning, and that's it.
And it was only there to establish the point where Herman needs to go to the bank. You could have cut that down into 3 seconds. Oh, Maryland's stuck at school. I need you to go to the bank, Herman. Boom, there it is. Then they're at the bank. Boom. They're getting the money. Then we get the banger. Then we get the banger after they get the money. God, but instead we got to explain it all again, do all that stuff. Too much going on. And then we have the grandpa with the potions, and there's no need for it because potions do not play into this episode at all.
Nope.
You don't need to establish potions. We don't need to know about potions. Grandpa does magic. It doesn't matter because it doesn't happen anywhere. Because we have if the previous 20 episodes, Grandpa, if he tried it hard enough, could have opened the bank vault with his magical powers.
Yes. Yeah.
That's true.
He didn't need Herman to like figure out how to reset the alarm. And once they got stuck inside, he could have easily got the door open again.
Yes.
Also, I don't know. Herman seems like incredibly strong at all times.
Smash
like,
through the wall.
Smash the wall. Smash through the door. I mean, I get it's a thicker steel door of a vault, but at the same time, like he's established already how much strength he actually has.
Mm-hmm.
He lifted that tree.
He lifted a redwood, but he couldn't. He couldn't bust through a vault door.
He pulled out a redwood and carried it around for 3 minutes. Yeah, so disappointing all around in that regards. So
I just had another idea. Herman could have just smiled on that reflective surface and it would have blown a hole straight through the safe.
Yes.
Boom.
Gloss it up and then look into it, and then it cracks open.
Yep.
Oh well. So we got, there's 10 minutes of episode that could have been cut down to 1.5. Easily. Whatever. So we know what broke us. What broke the babysitter?
I think what broke her is that, she also tried to call this like information hotline, and she has a full blown conversation with this person on the other end. And then the final thing she hears is says, "Sorry, but I'm a recording.
Yep.
And I can't help you."
I'd like
and
to
her
help
mind
you,
explodes. It's like, AI algorithms? What is this? Like, is this like a sentient machine?
Mm-hmm.
And she's making like potions, trying to triangulate where this like machine is that's talking, because it's a threat to humanity. I mean, if something this smart can fool you for that long, it passed the Turing test. So yeah. This is something she's really worried about now.
She looks right in the camera and goes, "What in the Isaac Asimov?" And her head explodes and she runs out the door.
And you're bum 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 bum. Terminator theme.
And aliens.
Oh yeah, and then aliens show up. Yeah.
All right. What about you, Keith?
I think what breaks her is when like she's like, "Wow, Lily had that much money in the tax account, and they only paid me how much to babysit this kid?"
Mm-hmm.
I think that breaks her a bit because she's like, "Man, they're a lot more well off, and I should probably charge them a little bit more, and I don't."
Yeah.
So it's a simple one this week for me.
Yeah, I don't think the babysitter necessarily broke. I just think what happens after Herman's playing with the money and Lily yells at him. Lily leaves, and the babysitter looks over at Herman, and they look at each other. They make eye contact, and they smile at one another. She gets up on the chair and starts dancing, and he starts flinging the dollar bills at her, and they're just having a good old time being silly with the money. They're like, they're just like, maybe she broke in the sense like, oh, I'm gonna let my hair down, hang out with Herman, because I think her and Herman are friends, right? And she's just dancing on the chair. He's flinging up the bills. They're making like money angels. They're like playing.
I am thoroughly picturing now Herman with the stack of dollars and doing the little thing where you just flick them off one at a time, like Herman making it rain.
Yep,
that image now is killing me.
He's making it laugh in slow motion.
Yep, and she's just go dancing, just straight.
Yeah,
and that's what I think happened after that moment, and that's what
she broke her professional demeanor and was like, you know what, it's time to it's not business time any longer. Yeah.
No.
Party time.
Oh man. So there it was. Season 1. I think this might be my least favorite episode. I don't know if it's recency bias, but I did not like this episode at all. All right. So that was season 1, episode 21. Don't bank on Herman. But we can bank on this. Good stuff coming out of the mouths of Keith and Terry. Keith, what do you got going on?
Oh boy, not a whole lot right now. Go back, check out back episodes of Papa Filmcast and back episodes of That Was Great, Wasn't It? Official season 2 of That Was Great, Wasn't It? Should be coming out any week now at this point.
Any week? Holy smokes!
Yeah, it's like it's like the end of August, right?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. We got a whole nother month, but look forward to that. We're closer to that than we are to
to our births. Yes.
yeah. Anyway, I got a little downtime right now, so I'm enjoying it. Getting a little extra hunting.
Nice.
Right now,
loving the hunting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about you, Terry?
Oh, I do another podcast. It's called Run the Reel. It's a movie podcast. We kind of pick categories and pick like 4 movies in the category and cover them. So right now we're doing summer blockbuster movies, I believe. So we'll have just got done talking about Point Break, I think is our next big one, maybe, if I'm thinking of the right movie. So check that out. That's one of my personal favorites. So
personal favorites.
Mm-hmm. Point Break. That's an action movie classic.
President masks.
Yes.
Airplane dives.
I'm not a crook.
Yeah. Love it.
Hey, can I redo a plug also?
Yeah, you want to redo a plug mulligan. Plug mulligan.
That Was Great, Wasn't It? Season 1.5, Bigfoot and the Muscle Machines just wrapped up last week. I highly encourage everyone to, at worst, listen to the final episode. And if you can go on YouTube, find the show. It is so ridiculous. The episode that we watched, I honestly really, really love this cartoon. But tune in, listen to me and Chris Green talk about it in the finale. Listen to all 5 episodes, but especially the finale because it is outstanding.
Nice. As for me, though, I don't got nothing. I got this. I got Patreon news. Patreon!
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We have officially launched the Patreon. The long-winded tweet of our history, all to get to the point. There's a story behind that, but I did it anyway. To say we have a Patreon, and that Patreon's going to have at least 2 bonus episodes of mustard and mustard.
Well,
mustard covered Munsters might be in the Munsterverse of madness. 2 bonus episodes at least a month where we do something Munster adjacent or Munster direct. And if you're listening to this, the first episode of Munsterisms came out for the Patreon, and then we covered the original pilot, the unaired pilot of Munstertown. Oh boy,
there are some significant changes that were made.
Significant changes, and it's probably that episode's probably available on the normal free feed as well, just to whet the appetites. But we'll be doing things like going down in the Munsterverse of madness. Bringing things back up in the SCUMA, and who knows,
things back from the depths of hell.
Returning from the depths of hell with things to watch.
Sometimes they come back with this.
Yep. And we'll be doing just things as we think of them. And we'll try to find recurring episode bits. We'll try to do whatever, but it's just us being goofy, having fun. And for just $5 a month, if you really want to support us, that's possibly the best way to do it. Because as much as such a low barrier of entry cost podcasting is, if you want to do podcasting and do it upright, you got to spend money sometimes. So that'll help cover any of those costs that have been incurred to this time.
That's true.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you ever got any ideas you want to hear us do for Patreon, we're happy to hear them.
You know,
if you want us to try different mustards, Mustard Hunters would be an amazing.
Mustard Hunters. Oh my God. I want horseradish. I love horseradish mustard.
Yes.
And I know I don't bog down the end of the episode with this level of tedium. I bog down the rest of the episode with all sorts of tedium, but never this tedium. But if you want to email us at munsterhunters@gmail.com, you can contact us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Munster Hunters. Munster Hunters, no mustard. And then we also have a YouTube channel. Just search for Munster Hunters. The episodes are there, plus other cool little videos I find, including Munster trailers. Boy, you just can't. I put the Rob Zombie trailer on our channel, and it has like a billion views and angry comments.
Really?
It's like, okay, great. So yeah, just do that. Hunt us down. Hunt down the hunters. Boy, that could be an episode. One lucky fan reached the Patreon tier, and they get to hunt us.
If we make a certain goal,
it's also it's a very low level tier, by the way. Also,
yeah, it's $10. You get to hunt us. Let us die in dignity, please.
Yes, please. Just tell my family I put up an honorable fight. That's all I ask.
You don't need to say that. Just let me die in dignity. That's all.
No, so just let me disappear in the woods and never be found.
And all well. And, until then, I guess we have to do what we always do.
It gets bad on Friday the 13th, but it gets worse on Saturday the 14th.
The Book of Evil!
Evil?
Richard Benjamin, Paula Prentice.
We've inherited a house with a curse.
Oh, come on, Mary. You know you don't believe in curses.
Well, somebody did the dishes, and we're the only ones in this house.
An innocent family.
I want to watch this movie. Holy cow.
Just when you
I like
thought
this
it was
part.
safe to look at the calendar again comes Saturday the 14th.
Fishman.
The year's #1 horror comedy spoof.
Whoa.
God, look at all these owls.
My name is John Hyatt, and I've got bats in my belfry.
You know how many? We
There
charge
it
by
is.
the bat.
Hold it right there, Mac.
No, darling, keep it away. No, thank you very much.
I'd like to take a look at her neck.
Well, if you don't trust me after 311 years of marriage...
It's what's his face?
There'll be nothing left here.
What's his name?
To be afraid of.
Every
What is his
shroud
name?
has a silver lining. So if you see every other chiller this year, you'll need
George
Saturday
Bluth.
the 14th.
Well, this must be your charming wife.
I can't remember his name.
Hammond. Whoa!
Major Pest Control.
Oh, I forgot I'm sharing the screen. I was going to IMDb who the guy was.
That everything that ever scared you.
Come on, Billy. Quit fooling around.
Give me a kiss, darling.
Oh, let me just see who that is. I'll be back for that kiss.
Be sure to see it before sunrise.
Oh.
Saturday the 14th.
Video will stay in the...
The Munster Hunters are Derek Glascock, Keith Gawla, and Terry Vickroy. Keith is the host of the Pop-Up Filmcast, and that was great, wasn't it? Both shows can be found wherever you subscribe to podcasts. For more about Keith's shows, you can follow Pop-Up Filmcast on Twitter at Pop-Up Filmcast. And that was great, wasn't it? At How Great Was That? You can also follow Keith on Twitter at KG3030. Terry is one of the hosts of Run the Reel. It's a movie podcast that does deep dives on films with a theme.
You can follow Run the Reel on Twitter at Run the Reel. You can also follow Terry on Twitter at Terry_Vickroy. If you would like more musings from me, you can follow on Twitter at Derek the number 9 and the word 9. Follow Munster Hunters on Twitter at Munster Hunters and subscribe on your podcatcher of choice for more Munster Hunter fun. Munster Hunters is mixed and edited by me, Derek. All original music is composed and mixed by Terry Vickroy, and executive producers are me and Keith Gawla. The Munster Hunters is a Crispy Dodo production.